there, it's inside of us. And where we put our awareness will guide what kind of manifestation we're going to see. And I'm going to talk about it soon, about the specific application. But I want to talk about our vessel, our body. So getting connected with our body, getting connected with our soul, with our mind, with our heart, with our how all of those elements operate inside of us is really important, because it's like you're driving a vehicle, or you're guiding a ship or a space shuttle, but you don't know how this space shuttle is operating, which is your body. And this space shuttle is operating in a very, very sophisticated way, and it's interconnected and it's influenced. Now, our capacity as individuals to understand how the mind works, how our heart in terms of heart and love and kindness and compassion, how our soul, what is motivating our soul, what's motivating our body, our mind. This understanding that and paying attention to it is very, very, very important, because up until now we have been operating on a survival mode. We've been just surviving wars and fear and guilt and conflict, and that vessel is very restricted if it's operating only in that paradigm. So the invitation right now is to open that vessel such that it is aware, such that it can become more open to information, to light, and to connection with other realms. So, and
Right.
if you want to talk more about how to actually do that, Ken Wilber, in his Science of Consciousness research and studies and books that he's written, talked about 10,000 transformative traditions. So there are many, many, many traditions on how we can transform our vessel, open it up, clean it up, such that it can be an amazing receptor of information.
You mean meditation and diet and those things, or do you mean non-traditional ways as well?
Well, there are 10,000 traditions. So, Alan, you are absolutely right. Meditation is a very powerful tool to observe your mind. Many people are walking around like robots. They're walking around like machines. They don't even know that their mind and their patterns are actually really dictating what they're going to eat every day, what kind of life they're going to have. So meditation is very important to observe the mind. So yes, meditation is one of it. What are you eating? How are you eating is a part of how you're nurturing your body. How you're moving your body. Moving the body is really important for moving the energy in the body. If you look even further,
none of this is new. You're talking about also something new happening on the planet. So let's also focus on what's new in evolution of humanity as well. You know what I mean?
yes.
These other things have been around a lot. Of course, they're very valuable and useful tools, but I'm interested in your awareness of the next level of reality as it's making itself appear.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So
other accesses. Yeah.
Got it. So what I can share with you about is my experience. My experience working with people on raising consciousness, working with organizations on raising consciousness, and my own studies and work that I've done with shamans, with healers, with psychics, with people who channel other entities and other worlds, with scientists, quantum physicists, neuroscientists. I'm doing all of that because all of it for me represent different perspective of the truth. So what I can share with you right now, why is it so important and so different, is we have arrived into a phase in our evolution that we are claiming back our power into our own self. The power is not coming from an outside guru, an outside psychic, an outside channeler, an outside doctor, an outside education system. The power is actually inside of us. And what do I mean by that? I mean, go back to who you are, connect with the different aspects that are operating within your body, including what psychology calls shadow materials. Shadow is very important. The ego shadow, subconscious part of what's operating inside of us is actually impeding us from completely being able to receive light and to receive information. So where the change is that we are called individually to reclaim our power and then to shift the entire system that is operating, the economic system. I have to tell you, this is something I've been receiving in my Akashic records. When I open the universal Akashic records and when I open my Akashic records and the community Akashic records, there are major changes that are going to happen right now. And people who are not aware of who they are, what's really the fundamental elements that carries them and nurtures them, they're gonna face a lot of challenges. On the other hand, people that are actually aware of that they are eternal beings, spirit embodied in this physical realm, and they know that consciousness and energy is what really feeds them and what really consists of life around us, when people understand that and start creating from that point, this is where the shift is happening, Alan. Now, I have to tell you, I'm having a little bit of I would call it a challenge to really explain the vast and the power that we have right now, because it.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was just wondering what the shift is. Many people talk about 2012, but what do you see coming that's so crucial at this point for our awareness? What is coming?
What is crucial is two things. What's crucial is a personal awakening at all levels and collective awakening at all levels that will create new systems for us to live into. For example, when the internet was created, it created a whole new reality. People now have lives on the internet. When the information age, when the industrial age, when the agricultural age was introduced to humanity, we created a whole new reality that we lived into. Now, where is this? What is so spectacular, and why am I so excited about this? And I'm really dedicating my life toward the exploration, the awakening of the planet, is because we are entering a consciousness age. Consciousness age doesn't mean that one or two or a group of shamans somewhere in the Amazon or Alan and Natalie are talking on a late night show. It's becoming all pervasive. We're entering an age in which consciousness is fueling the reality in that age. Now, for example, if we were entering, let me give you an example. When we entered as a society, as a human species, from an agricultural being to industrial being to information processing being, what happened? Our reality changed. People who did not want to catch up and still want to live in an old, archaic world, that's perfectly okay. But they haven't really evolved to where actually humanity is evolving. So, what I'm trying to say is where the critical point is in our evolution is we're entering a consciousness age in which consciousness is all pervasive, and we need to learn individually and collectively to access, to awaken, and to create while we are conscious of that creation. And that's a very, very different way of doing business in the world. Very different. I mean, come on, Alan. Go.
Well, how will businesses operate? Because, my idea of business is that, it's basically unconscious. People produce a product, they get your money, and I don't see where consciousness comes into it in that way.
That's great.
Can you tell me how it's going to change?
Perfect. Beautiful. So I want to answer that, and I want to. So my understanding is.
How do you work with businesses?
Okay.
You bring awareness to businesses, and I want to know how you do it and what you tell them, and what the practical application of your work is, because I think it's very important to bring consciousness into the world, and I think you're doing it, and I think you have a great handle on it. So I want to know how you do it, and what you say to people, and how you work with companies.
Okay.
Well, very interesting what you're doing.
That's wonderful, Alan. So the premise of